What would you do if you were talking to a couple who was facing foreclosure because they were taken for a ride with a publisher's clearinghouse scam? We're going to talk about that today on the Furlough Capital Real Estate Podcast because that's what I did today.
No.
And our mission is to dive into the intricacies of passive real estate investing to help people invest wisely in both properties and people and to not get taken advantage of by horrific scams.
Wow.
Yes. And so through doing that, we can help people build their wealth. Yes, and improve housing. So I'm James, and this is my wife, Jessi.
So right. He told me I was going to be so intrigued by this hook, and I am like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I hate scams, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I regularly
this one's bad.
Is this a thing for everybody? Like the regular text, like, you didn't pay, this particular tax thing. Click here and we can help. Or this is a debt collection service. Like, I get these texts all the time. I get emails that are like, they try to use a name of someone in my contacts. This is worse than that.
Okay, so part of what we do is we advertise for people. And then what we also do is we call on like foreclosure.
Like you advertise for to buy.
Yes, we advertise to buy properties and we get leads that way.
Sure.
And then what we also do is we will reach out to particular people. Like for example, there's a pre-foreclosure list. Mm-hmm. We'll call people on it and be like, hey, saw you're on the list. How can we help? Yeah. So that's the appointment that we had today. Was with this lady she's on a pretty big lot, decent house. And she's facing pre-foreclosure right now. And so we started talking to her story, or, started learning about her story.
Yeah, asking questions.
And usually what we do is we go to someone's house and we just sit down at the kitchen table. Like we don't actually usually take a tour of the place. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll do it at the very end, kind of depending on where the conversation goes.
Sure.
But in this case, has it been a year? I think it was 6 months. They received a notice that they had won the $1 million prize from the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Okay.
And she got super excited. But here's the deal, right? When you win $1 million and you get cars and other free stuff, what they tell you is you're going to have to pay the taxes on those gifts.
Right.
Because that's, whatever how that works. And they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. I remember the whole Oprah scandal. Sure. They gave everyone a free car, and then it turned out they all owed taxes on the cars.
Yeah.
Well, what they say is like, you just need to prepay the taxes, and then we'll send you the prizes and the money. And so they went to Walmart, and they got the gift cards, and they sent them.
They prepaid.
Yes. 10% of their $1 million prize.
No.
They emptied their retirement accounts. They sold other vehicles and stuff. She stopped paying her mortgage, stopped paying her car loan, stopped paying her electricity bill.
To prepay this. Does that even mathematically make sense? Like if you were...
They've been living without electricity for over 20 days.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is like mind-boggling to me. Like, I'm trying to do the mental math. If I won $1 million, and I'm going to prepay all of this money.
Taxes.
Okay. Which is it $100,000?
Not to the IRS.
No, to this company, apparently, who's going to give me the prizes. So I'm paying them $100,000. And then theoretically, they're going to give me $900,000.
Well, they give you the full $1 million.
Right, but
so you get it back.
I got the $100,000 back, so I profit $900. Okay. I mean, I guess if that is actually what was going to happen, but I'm just like, who in their right mind, like,
I know.
Like pays the taxes to the game show?
It was a very interesting conversation.
So interesting.
So there's a lady. She owns the house. She used to be married. Husband passed away. And now she has a boyfriend who they met online, started dating. I'm pretty sure he lives there now, but it's not his house. He's not on anything.
Right.
They both make about a couple grand a month.
Okay.
So 4,000 total on a fixed income, like a combination of Social Security. So we're talking that age, and some disability stuff.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Yeah, and so we were talking with her, and I mean, it was like, so her car is going to be repossessed at the end of the month. They've already taken her car. It's already in the impound. She doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And she owes like $3,000 on the car. She owes, it's like 25,000 total is what she's in the hole. It's actually not that much, but her credit's not totally trash. And she's got a pile of equity in this house.
Yeah.
Like it's at least 100,000, if not.
So why doesn't she just borrow against the equity?
Her credit's trashed.
Oh, the bank won't allow her to borrow.
Well, she's been too embarrassed by the entire situation to call and ask. Because she's also been in the mindset of like, well, just a little bit longer and all my problems will be solved. Why would she call a bank and ask for a short-term loan when, like, in a little bit she's going to have $1 million?
Wait, she still thinks she's going to get the $1 million?
So I was talking with her, and in 3 days or in 2 days, the price for her to get her car back is going to essentially go up by 30%, and then by the end of the month it's gone. And so she's like, if I could just get my car back, that would be great. I was like, okay, well, when do you guys get your next check? And she was like, well, like, I get paid the third Wednesday of the month. He gets paid on the 9th. And I was like, third Wednesday of the month. I went, so that was last Wednesday. And she goes, yep. I went, okay. And she goes, and the money's totally gone. I was like, oh, where to? She goes, Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh my gosh. She's still sending the money.
She sent the money last week. And I think what finally happened was, for whatever reason, something clicked in her head right before we called her, where she went, I think this might be a scam.
Oh my gosh.
She's been living without electricity for 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
She'd been without electricity for 2 weeks and sent them money.
Oh my gosh. That's so incredibly.
So here's the other part. So she's like, I think I need to do something. Like, I don't think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
But she's still like, I don't think this is actually real anymore. She's like, no one's ever come to our house, that kind of thing. The boyfriend, he's still like, oh, no. Like, in a couple days, we're going to go to the bank, and they're going to meet us there. And because we decided to do a private thing, not a public thing, so we didn't want ourselves on television. So we just got to go to the bank and meet them there. And they're going to have all the funds, and we're going to be good to go in like a couple of days. And so he's still, I mean, like, I got to a point at the end of the conversation, I went, so let me make sure, like, if you show up to the bank in a couple of days and they're not there, like, are you done? And he was like, probably.
Interesting.
He's still in the like he's like, we're so close. Like, and apparently they did send them, each of them, like a $5,000 check, which I'm like, oh yeah, classic Ponzi scheme move. Give them a little bit of a taste to keep it coming. But it was written so poorly, like one of the banks wouldn't even deposit it. They're like, dude, this is clearly a scam. We're not going to participate in this.
Right.
Her bank did, but then they came back like 4 days later and like, hey, we just need like $3,500 more. And it was just like,
and she gave it back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's awful.
We're sitting at this table talking. Her sister was there. She was willing to tell her sister. She's trying to keep it a secret from the rest of the family because she's, embarrassed or whatever, or doesn't want them to know about their impending millions. It's kind of a combination of the two.
Sure.
So sister knew, and she was definitely like, I want to listen to what you guys have to say. I was like, yeah, 100%. So, like, for us, right, how do you walk into the situation and have the right posture, right? Because our whole thing is, like, we like to buy properties.
And you didn't know this going into...
my partner, Lawrence, he knew some of it, and he briefed me a little bit about it. But, like, you just don't... like.
Interesting. You don't know all the ins and outs until you really sit down and have the conversation.
Yeah. And so we decided... So, oftentimes when we talk to people in foreclosure, what we do... I guess, is we don't instantly go, well, we could buy your house for cash and get money quick.
You just listen.
Instead, what we say is like, well, we have 12 different options that we can work you through. Let's just see which ones are even a fit. But we start with step one is like, we got to figure out what's the situation here. How much do you owe? What's your income? Like, what's your actual situation? Because that will kind of determine which route we can go. And what's the timing, right? When's all this stuff due? Like the auction for her place is the end of June.
Okay.
She's like, all right.
A little time.
A little bit of time. Not a lot of time. A little bit of time. And so after we went through all the documents and we figured it out and we kind of did the math, we were like, okay, look, yes, the way that we earn money is we buy homes for a reasonable price for what they're actually worth. Mm-hmm. And then we fix them up, resell them. That's how we make money. Yeah. But there are a bunch of other options. And a win for me is if one of these other options work. We just want you to avoid foreclosure, whatever that looks like. She's like, well, I want to stay in my house. I don't want to sell. It's like, cool. So in my head, I'm instantly like, well, I'm not going to make a pitch to buy the place. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want that. And so I was like, all right, number one, do you have any family or friends who'd be willing to loan you money? She's like, no, I'm not telling anybody. So no. All right. There we go. We then went through a couple other options. One of them is like, have you called your bank to ask about a loan modification? Like maybe they'll change stuff. She's like, no, I haven't called them. I'm like, all right, well, let's go find their phone number. So we found it and we're like, it's a little bit tricky once you get into the pre-foreclosure process because there's 4 different phone numbers. Try all of these and you might have to stay on hold for an hour. Do it. Yeah. I've been there. It takes a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, and this number here that it says, this is not the real number because there are a bunch of fees and other stuff that has now been you got to add 20% on top of this. That's kind of how that works. She's like, okay, that's good to know.
So what are you actually trying to get your bank to do at that point?
Say, give me forbearance, give me a little bit to do it, or essentially change take the part that I owe and just tack that on to the end of the loan. Charge me interest for it.
Just make a bigger mortgage.
Her situation, though, is kind of a weird one, right? Because it's not like, hey, I temporarily lost my job and I just need time to catch up.
Right.
It's like, I've been giving my money away to scammers.
Right.
So I don't know how they react to it. But you got to have that phone. And for us, I'm like, I need to demonstrate, I care more about your outcome than me making money. This is something that you can do that I don't earn anything from, but you should do it.
If they stopped giving money to the scammers, would they theoretically be able to afford the mortgage payment?
100%. Easy.
Because they were doing that before.
Yeah, all of their monthly obligations are, the mortgage is $1,200. Electricity is $500 a month. That's a lot.
So if she called the bank and explained what was happening and was like, hey, I was scammed. I was giving money to this. I'm not doing that anymore. Here's my proof of income. Here's how much I'm making. I can make the payments.
In theory, they could, yeah.
They could say, okay, cool. Let's get back on track.
Yes. The problem, yes. Potentially.
Because it's not great for the bank for them to foreclose either.
Yeah, they don't want to. And if she started making payments, they'd probably be like, okay, all right, let's talk.
Interesting.
Probably. There's some government programs. We gave her those contact. We're like, here's the phone number to call for this one that can help with housing situations. We walked through a couple others where we were like, you can try to refinance, you can sell your home, that kind of stuff. And she's just like, I don't want to sell. I'm like, all right, no problem. Those are options. And so that was how we ultimately, that was where we got to in this conversation. And we could tell we hit a good note because halfway through her sister was like, all right, I'm going to go outside and do something else. I'm like, okay, good. She's decided we're cool. And that was we were like, yeah, that's what we want. And so the way that we gave our final thing, we were like, look, call your bank first, call this housing program, call all the different banking sources, see if you can get an extension on this. That's the hope. You got about a month to pull this off. I went, if you hit June and it still doesn't look like anything's going to move forward on this, you're still giving your money away. I was like, give us a call. We could be your backstop. Because if you hit June 25th, they will foreclose and you will lose everything.
Yeah.
I know you got a ton of equity sitting in this house. It's all going to go away. If you call us, you're at least going to get some of the cash back. We can't give you all of your equity because that's just not how our business model works. But we can close quickly and you'll at least walk away with something. In her case, it's probably going to be $40,000.
Yeah.
Which is better than nothing. It's not great. You'd have to find a new place to live, which we'd we could give you time to move, that kind of stuff. And that was how we said, we're your backup.
Interesting.
Hopefully you don't need it. We got to the end of the conversation. She's like, well, appreciate your help. How much do I owe you for this? We're like, nothing. That's not how we make
our
money
if we did a deal with you.
And we told her, we talked to a lot of people where it just doesn't end up happening. And I'm totally okay with that. If they come up with another solution, that's great.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd be like, man, swallow your pride, talk to family and friends. You're about to lose your house over $25,000.
Yeah. It's
But I get it. This is the hardest part of the job is talking with foreclosure people because it's usually not just about the money. There's some other stuff going on there.
Yeah.
He was still like, I don't know, man, we'll see. At one point he was like, search them online, look them up. I didn't. It was just like, first one was like LinkedIn profile for the guy doing it. And then it was like scam. And he was like, yeah, keep scrolling. You'll see eventually. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen enough. But so, and she was, their relationship was very contentious as well, which I was like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, this is a stressful time.
Right.
But we're both like, why are they hanging out together?
Yeah,
Outside of,
it's
she can't actually afford that house on her own income anymore. And she needs someone else there to help pay for it all. And he's willing to be that guy. But, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's messy.
It was hard.
And sad.
I could sleep well at night knowing that we did what we could. Right. At one point in time, she was like, I just want my car back. And it was like, and here's where other stuff happens where they're like, she's got this awesome car. It's worth like $30,000-$40,000, and she's going to lose it because she only owes $3,000 on it. Like, that's what she's behind by. Is she really going to lose all that over $3,000? Like, and it's like, she has 2 days to figure it out. And then, or like it tacks on another like $800 to it. And like, I was like, okay, well, let's do the math here. I looked it up and went, well, your existing mortgage balance on this is like a little over $13,000. Like, and you owe $3,000 right away. And I'm pretty sure the 3 is part of that 13, but anyways. And so then I was like, all right, well, let's look up the car. Let's see how much it's actually worth. So I went to Kelley Blue Book. It's like, tell me all the stats. We're punching it in, and they're telling me all about it. It's like, it's an XLT, whatever. I get there, and it's like $16,000. He was like, that can't be right. Like, well, I'm pretty sure it is. And so I was like, yeah, you don't have any. And so I told him straight up, I was like, you just don't have any equity in the car. Like, if it was genuinely a $30,000 vehicle, and I knew like, hey, if I gave you a loan for $3,000 and I could put a second on this car, I was like, sure, I'd go for it. But like, there's no equity here, right? Especially when you think about transaction costs. And I guarantee you, it's not free to get it out of the impound. Yep. And so those are hard conversations. We're like, man, you're gonna lose your car.
There's so much of that too. That's like, the average person doesn't really understand A, how the scam is working.
Oh yeah.
B, how impounding and foreclosure actually works, and what they have to do in order to mitigate it. And like, that's just so complicated and hard. Like, they get in this spot where they're just like, I don't even know how to solve this.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh. I hate scammers.
Oh, this one's a bad one.
So bad.
Milked them for.
That's awful.
Like, they drained their retirement accounts to do this.
And you know she's not the only one.
Oh.
That's terrible.
It's horrible.
Wow.
Going into foreclosure. And like, what's a bank to do? Like, they can't be like, yeah, that's a bummer, man. That happens.
Right? Well, that's not the bank's role.
I know.
You know, warn people or.
So I was brainstorming an idea. I'm going to workshop this. And it's 2 in a row where I'm workshopping.
Ooh.
I was like, man, they're genuinely sitting on a pile of equity for this house, and they want to stay there. And it's $25,000. I was like, man, what if you went like, okay, what if I became the equivalent of a hard money lender and went, I'll give you a loan for $25,000. You're going to pay 12% interest, and you're going to pay 3 points up front, and I'm going to be in a second position on the house. But like,
you get to keep your house.
You get to keep your house. You're out of all the other stuff. You can start to build your credit back, and eventually you can pay me back. You know, it's like there'll be a balloon payment due in a couple of years that you got to save for, but you make enough money, you could be able to save for it.
That's an interesting idea.
It seems like it would be win-win.
It's a different business model.
Totally different.
You know,
high
at that
risk,
point,
to be honest.
High risk. You're a bank. You're not.
But there's enough equity in the property where even if it doesn't work out and ends up being foreclosed upon, I would still get paid back.
You would get paid. Yeah.
So it could work out.
Essentially, that's what the bank is doing.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
Yep. Yeah, just become a bank.
You're just making. Yeah, you're.
I'm like proactively looking for that because I was thinking about we had this. Jesus, this was a year ago now. We're looking at that place where he had that weird home equity line of like that home equity loan thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, man, it seems very predatory. But I was also like, the more I'm thinking about it, like predatory is just because of the rates. Like if they, at the end of the day, he's in his house. He still gets to live there. He's still like, it's just a problem if he ever wants to sell. It makes it really expensive. But as long as he wants to stay there, it's a great deal. Yeah. Which is like this lady's situation. She didn't want us to move. Like, honestly, I'm like, you should look into something like that. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And they don't care about you. They don't care about you trying to make payments. Like, that's not important to them. Because it's all about the house sale at the other end of it. And like, the rates are pretty bad. I was also thinking, like, what if you tied some sort of, hey, I've got this financial class that you got to take. It's like an hour. You got to sit down and watch it. You got to answer questions, go through it before we send you the funds. If this is really important to you, you'll find the hour today to do it. And then maybe, like, could you do some sort of, hey, there's an ongoing education piece? Because, like, just a one-time class isn't going to do it. You got to, like, regularly get in front of them, maybe even weekly. And what if it was like, well, your actual rate's like 16%, but every week that you watch one of these financial video classes, we knock a percentage off
some incentive
for that month. So you can get it down to 12% if you do 4 weeks worth of classes. And those inherently, like, you're going to be saying, like, here's about budgeting, here's about whatever, and it's just like,
here's how to identify a scam.
Potentially. I don't know. I'm trying to, like,
awful.
It seems like there's something there from a business model standpoint that could potentially work. And the way we would do it is we'd have investors. They would earn that 12%.
Right.
And then the points that we charge up front, like that 3 points or whatever, in this case, it'd be $750. Like, that's what we would earn.
Does that still fall under the realm of property investment because the property's involved? Or is
I think
that
so. Yeah.
Totally different.
No, it's lending at the end of the day. Yeah.
I mean, which
now it'd have to work.
Kind of what you do.
Like, my biggest problem with this one is, like, the dude still was like,
it's not going to work if he's just going to keep giving money.
We give him $25,000 and he just goes,
he just puts
here you guys go.
Publishers Clearinghouse scammers.
And they're still in that foreclosure process. You're
my
like,
word.
dude, which I don't know, maybe part of me is like, gets accelerated. I guess I get paid back sooner rather than later. But, it's what I'm learning in my interactions with folks in these situations. It's just so super messy. And I think oftentimes, or sometimes investors like us can be like, oh man, you're going after getting there and, carpetbagging, trying to get a deal. I'm like, maybe, but like, these are messy situations. It is not as straightforward as it's often portrayed. Where it's just, we just got behind. Like, no.
Yeah, no, there's reasons why you got behind.
Yeah. And this one, it's like, it's just, it's bad. Ugh. Anyways, there's an uplifting
Scammers.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to get the deal. Like I said, we just had the meeting today, so it's kind of top of mind.
Yeah.
We'll follow up with them, and as it gets closer to the deadline, see where they're at. Part of my hope is my hope is that she figures something out, right? And avoids it altogether. Yeah. And then my secondary hope is if she doesn't figure it out, she calls us and we're able to help. That's kind of like, it's a consolation prize, but obviously I'll take it, and we'll try to be fair in what we offer her. Yeah. Obviously we got to make it work for us, for our investors, all that stuff. And she won't, if she did it right now, the property's in good enough shape. She could list it today and probably sell it. It's got new enough roof. Yeah. It's dirty, but nothing's broken. It's got a new roof system. It's got a new HVAC system. Like, they've taken care of the place. And so they could list it today and sell it and be totally on the clear. And she could potentially walk away with like $150,000 from it. But she doesn't want to move. And she'd have to, and that's the other thing, like, she'd have to find a new place to live and like that, so it's not quite that. Like, the money would have to go somewhere, which part of me is like, man, I wish you could refinance, because that would also solve your problems. But she's got like an awesome 3-point something.
But the bank won't. They're not
I don't think so. She never called them. It would be hard.
Interesting.
But
if she could borrow money to get caught up on payments, they might consider something.
Correct. But she's got the income.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, messy situations. That's people we're trying to help, though. So hopefully she figures it out.
It makes me, this is like kind of unrelated. It makes me think of that guy who stays on the phone with scammers.
Oh,
just totally, or emails back and forth.
So this is going to harken back to last week's episode. There are now guys where they create AI bots that talk to scammers, and their whole thing is like, just keep it going.
That is a great use of AI.
There you go.
I am on board for that.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
let's distract the scammers and keep them.
Yeah, as long as they're talking to
annoyed.
AI bots, we're good to go. Yeah.
Sure, I'll send you cards.
Yeah. In some ways, I like the syndication route as well, doing bigger deals, because you're dealing with investors. Like, it's a different situation.
It's different.
It's not quite as messy, but
sure.
So there it is. All right. I'm trying to think of a way to make this more upbeat, but I don't think it is. It's just sad. And that's okay. Sometimes that's what we have to deal with.
They're sad stories.
So if this made you sad, thanks for listening anyways.
You can still like
You can still like it. You can still say, man, I feel for them.
Yeah.
And it's tough. But so again, thanks for listening. And if you are interested in investing with us to try to help situations like this, we'd love to talk to you. You can learn more about us and our investing thesis and how we operate at furlough.com. So again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.